My friends, I tell you this. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you set into motion forces unseen that must bring it to pass. What you have been praying for, longing for, desiring with the depths of your being, it is already yours. Not in some distant future, not dependent on circumstances, not waiting on permission from the world. It is now, it is here, and it is done. You must prepare yourself, not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. You do not wait in uncertainty, wondering if the miracle will come. You move in the world with the quiet confidence of one who has already received. Just as you would prepare for a guest you know is arriving, so too must you prepare for the life you have already claimed in your imagination. Think not in terms of possibility, but inevitability. What you persistently occupy in consciousness becomes your reality. Every thought, every feeling, every inner conversation is shaping the unseen substance of your world. Look no longer at what appears to be, for the visible is only the shadow of the unseen. The truth is within you, waiting for your recognition. Live now as though your prayer is answered, as though the door has already opened. Speak not of delay, for delay is only the refusal to accept that you already possess what you seek. Trust in the law that never fails. The world may call it faith, but you will know it as certainty. And in this certainty you will see it unfold before your very eyes. The secret is not in effort, not in struggle, not in pleading with some external force, but in the quiet certainty that what you have desired is already yours. The world teaches that you must fight, must earn, must prove yourself worthy before receiving the things you seek, but this is the great illusion. The truth is far simpler, yet so few dare to believe it. You must become it in consciousness before you see it in form. The world reflects, it does not create. If you wait for signs, if you wait for proof before you believe, you will wait forever. The only proof needed is the feeling within. If you can feel it real, if you can assume its truth with unwavering certainty, then nothing in this world can prevent its unfolding. Look around you and you will see the evidence of this law everywhere. Every success, every failure, every joy, every sorrow, these are not random events. They are the external manifestations of inner states long assumed. A man does not stumble into wealth, nor does he fall into despair without cause. His world is but the projection of his dominant thoughts and feelings. Change the within, and the without must follow. Now what is it you've been praying for? What is it that your heart has been whispering in the stillness of the night? Perhaps you have begged, have pleaded, have asked again and again, wondering if your prayers have been heard. But I tell you, prayer is not about asking, it is about receiving. It is about assuming the state of being that would naturally follow the fulfillment of your desire. If you have been longing for love, then become love. If you have been praying for abundance, then walk in the confidence of one who is already wealthy. If you have sought healing, then cease to identify with sickness. It is not enough to wish, not enough to hope. You must become. The outer world is but a reflection of the inner, and nothing can come into your life that is not first conceived in imagination. Now you may wonder, how can I live as though it is done when I see no evidence of it? But that is the trick of the senses. Your senses will deceive you, will tell you that nothing has changed, that the world remains as it was. But if you rely on the senses, you will remain bound to their limitations. You must learn to see with the eye of imagination, to trust in what is unseen. Imagine now, in this very moment, that your prayer has been answered. How would you feel? What would be different about you? How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would fill your mind? If you were already the person who possesses that which you seek, how would you move through this world? Do not simply ask these questions. Live them. Walk as though the thing you desire is already yours. Speak as one who has received. Think from the end, not of the end. For as long as you think of it, you place it in a future that never arrives. But the moment you think from it, the moment you assume its reality, it must come to pass. This is not wishful thinking, it is the operation of a law as certain as gravity. Your imagination is the creative force of the universe, the bridge between the unseen and the seen. Whatever you persistently dwell upon in imagination will harden into fact. Think now of the great inventors, the pioneers, the visionaries of this world. Did they wait for the world to confirm their dreams before believing? No, they lived in the assumption of their vision long before the world saw it. They spoke of things that were not yet visible, as though they already existed, and in time the world caught up to their belief. You are no different. The same power that moved them moves you. The only difference is in your use of it. If you have prayed and yet still find yourself waiting, it is not because you have been denied. It is because you have not yet fully assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You still look to the outside for confirmation instead of resting in the certainty within. This is where faith comes in, not blind faith, not a desperate hope, but an unshakable knowing. The moment you accept that your desire is already accomplished in the unseen, you cease to struggle. You cease to doubt. You move with an inner peace that cannot be shaken. For you know that what is true within must express itself without. Now, let me ask you, are you truly ready? For many say they wish for change, but when the opportunity arises, they hesitate. They cling to the familiar, to old identities, to past limitations. They ask for abundance, but still think in terms of lack. They seek love, but still believe in their unworthiness. They long for success, but continue to identify with failure. To truly receive, you must let go of all that contradicts your desire. You cannot carry the old into the new. If you wish for a new life, you must become a new person. The moment you step into the feeling of already having what you seek, the old must fall away. And this, my friends, is where many falter. They fear the change. They fear stepping into the unknown, and so they cling to the past, even as they pray for the future. But I tell you this, if you have been praying, if you have been imagining, if you have been holding within you a vision of a life greater than the one you see now, then know this, it is already on its way. The only thing that remains is for you to fully accept it, to fully embody it, to remove any lingering doubt that it is yours. How long must you wait? That depends only on you. The moment you fully accept without contradiction that your prayer has been answered, time collapses. What seemed distant becomes near, what seemed impossible becomes inevitable. So prepare yourself, not by waiting, but by living as though the miracle has already occurred. Speak it into existence, not as a hopeful wish, but as an undeniable fact. Carry yourself with the confidence of one who knows, not one who wonders. Do not ask when, do not ask how. Simply know that it is done, and act accordingly. The world may call it madness, but the world does not understand the power within you. The world tells you to be realistic, to wait for proof, to rely on what can be seen and touched. But you now know better. You know that reality is shaped from within, that the seen is born from the unseen, that the only proof needed is the certainty in your own heart. So I tell you now, what you have been praying for is about to happen, not because of luck, not because of chance, but because it is law, because you have dared to believe, because you have dared to assume, because you have chosen to see beyond what is and into what must be. And as you stand at this threshold, know that the only thing required of you is to step forward in faith, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. For now is all there is, and in this now, your prayer is already answered. Do you not see, the very moment you align your consciousness with the state of the wish fulfilled, you are no longer separate from it. You have bridged the gap between desire and realization. You have moved from waiting to receiving, from hoping to knowing. There is no need to ask again, no need to beg, no need to seek signs from the world. The only confirmation required is the one within you. Many will hear these words, and yet they will still hesitate. They will say, "But I do not feel it real." And I say to them, the only reason you do not feel it real is because you continue to identify with the old man, with the old self who lacks, who doubts, who fears. But you are not bound to this identity. You can step out of it at any moment and assume the feeling of the new man, the man who already possesses all that he desires. You are always imagining, always assuming, always creating. The question is not whether you are using this power, but whether you are using it consciously. You cannot escape the creative process, for your very life is proof of it. The circumstances you now see, the events unfolding before you, they are not accidents. They are the harvest of past states assumed, whether knowingly or unknowingly. But here is the good news. You need not be a prisoner of past assumptions. The moment you shift within, the moment you accept a new reality as true, the old must dissolve. It has no choice, for the only thing holding it in place is your continued attention to it. If you cease to give life to limitation, to lack, to fear, they can no longer govern your experience. So what then must you do? You must remain faithful to the unseen. You must persist in your assumption no matter what the world shows you. For in this persistence, the unseen becomes seen. Every great change, every transformation, every answered prayer first began in the invisible, in the quiet recesses of the mind. Do not be discouraged by appearances. Do not let delay convince you that nothing is happening. The world moves according to laws unseen, and just as the seed does not sprout the moment it is planted, so too must you trust that the unseen forces are at work. But unlike the farmer, you need not wait for the seasons to change. In the realm of imagination, there is no time, no distance, no obstacles. The moment you accept something as true within, you have already received it. But beware, doubt is the only thing that can delay what is already yours. If you allow yourself to waver, to entertain conflicting states, you slow the process. If you pray for abundance but still walk in the consciousness of lack, you are caught between two masters. If you seek love but still see yourself as unworthy of it, you push it away even as you call for it. You must be single-minded, unwavering, unshakable. You must live in the end in the certainty that what you seek is already yours. And when you do this, you will see the world shift in response. People will appear, circumstances will change, doors will open where before there were none, and yet none of this will surprise you, for you will know that it is simply the reflection of your inner state. And what of those who say, but my situation is different, my challenge is greater? To them I say, there are no degrees of difficulty in creation. The same power that brings a small desire to pass is the same power that moves mountains. It is not harder for the universe to grant you a fortune than it is to grant you a penny. The only difficulty lies in your own mind, in your own beliefs about what is possible. You must remove all sense of limitation. You must no longer measure your desires against what seems probable, what seems realistic. The world is not bound by probabilities. It is bound by law, and the law is simple. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and it must come to pass. Do not concern yourself with how. Do not question the means. Simply know that it is done. You will notice a shift within yourself when you have fully accepted your desire as a reality. You will no longer feel desperate, no longer feel the need to seek signs, no longer feel the urge to question. Instead, you will walk with a quiet assurance, a deep inner peace, and in this state, all things will flow to you effortlessly. But there is one final thing you must understand. Your assumption is not just for the fulfillment of your personal desires. It is the key to all transformation. If you wish to change any aspect of your life, any condition, any circumstance, it begins and ends within you. You have been given dominion over your world, not through force, not through struggle, but through the power of assumption. If you can believe this, if you can embrace this truth fully, then nothing will be impossible for you. You will move through life as one who creates rather than one who reacts. you will know that every prayer is already answered, that every desire is already fulfilled, that the only thing required of you is to accept it. So take this knowledge and apply it now. Do not wait, do not hesitate. Assume now that what you have been praying for is already done, and walk in that state with unwavering faith. And as you do, watch as the world rearranges itself to reflect the truth you have chosen to believe. It has already begun. The moment you dared to believe, the moment you chose to see yourself as already having received, the wheels were set in motion, and now all that remains is for you to continue in that knowing, to persist in that feeling, to remain faithful to the unseen. And in what seems like the blink of an eye, the thing you once prayed for will stand before you, as real and as certain as anything you have ever known. Not because you hoped, not because you wished, but because you dared to assume, because you finally understood that creation is finished, and all that is left is for you to claim what is already yours. There is nothing outside of you that can deny you what you seek, nothing in this world that can stand between you and the fulfillment of your prayer. Except you alone hold the key, for the power has always been within. You are not a victim of chance, not at the mercy of fate, not bound by the conditions of the world. The only conditions that exist are those you have accepted, those you have entertained in imagination and impressed upon your subconscious mind. Your entire world is the outpicturing of your inner state, a mirror reflecting back to you what you persistently assume to be true. If you look at the world and do not like what you see, do not attempt to change it by force. Do not fight against it. Do not resist it. Instead, go within, change your assumption, and let the world conform to your new state of being. The outer is only the shadow, the reflection, the result. The cause is always within. You may wonder, how can I remain faithful to the unseen when all around me contradicts my desire? But I tell you, this is the very test of faith, the very challenge that separates those who create from those who remain prisoners of circumstance. The world will always attempt to pull you back into doubt, to demand that you believe only what you can see. But this is not the way of the one who understands the law. You must believe first, you must feel it first, you must assume it is true before the world can show it to you. The doubter, the skeptic, the one who hesitates, they will continue to wait for proof, and in doing so they will remain in the same place year after year, wondering why their desires remain unfulfilled. But the one who dares to believe in the reality of the unseen, who walks as though they already possess that which they seek, who holds firm to their assumption no matter what, this is the one who will see miracles unfold before their eyes. It does not matter how long you have waited, how impossible it may seem, how great the obstacles appear to be. What you desire is already yours. The only thing required is that you accept it. But acceptance does not mean simply saying the words. It means feeling it as real, knowing it as fact, living in the end as though it were already done. Imagine now in this very moment that your greatest desire has been fulfilled. Close your eyes if you must, shut out the world for a moment and go within. Feel the joy of having received, the relief of knowing it is yours, the peace that comes with certainty. How does it feel? Hold that feeling, dwell in it, let it become natural to you. For this is the secret. You must become so familiar with the feeling of fulfillment that it is no longer something you seek, but something you simply are. The moment you can move through the world with this feeling, without needing to look for signs, without questioning when or how, without doubting its reality, that is the moment you have truly accepted it. And when you have accepted it, when you have made it your own in consciousness, nothing in this world can keep it from you. You may have been taught that time is required, that things must happen in a certain order, that you must follow a set path to get what you want. But I tell you, time is an illusion, and order is only the reflection of your belief. If you believe something must take years, then so it will. If you believe it can happen in an instant, then so it will. The only delay is the one you impose upon yourself by doubting, by hesitating, by questioning whether it is truly possible. You must remember, you are not dealing with probabilities but with certainties. There is no chance in this process, no luck involved, no outside force deciding whether or not you receive what you desire. It is law, as sure as the rising of the sun, as the law of gravity itself. There is no uncertainty in this process, only the certainty of what you accept as true. When you fully embrace this understanding, when you cease to waver, when you stop entertaining any thought contrary to your wish fulfilled, then nothing can stand in the way of your desire manifesting. Think for a moment of all the times you have asked, all the times you have wished, all the times you have longed for something that still seems just beyond your reach. The only reason it has not yet appeared in your world is that you have not fully assumed it as your reality. You may have desired it, you may have thought about it often, but desire alone is not enough. You must take possession of it in your mind, claim it with absolute conviction, and let nothing shake that knowing. You do not need to look for signs. The moment you look outside of yourself for proof, you are placing your faith in the external rather than in the unseen reality you are creating. This is where many falter. They plant the seed in imagination, but then dig it up with doubt, checking to see if it has begun to grow. But the wise gardener knows that the seed will sprout in its own time if left undisturbed. So too must you trust in the process, knowing that the unseen forces are already at work. You must also let go of the notion that you must work harder, struggle more, or prove yourself worthy before you can receive. You do not earn your desires, you align with them. The moment you believe you must strive to deserve what you want, you place yourself in a state of lack, and lack can only produce more lack. Instead, you must assume that you are already the person who has what they desire, that it is natural for you to receive it, that it is already done. When you fully embody this truth, you will notice a shift within yourself. You will no longer feel the need to force things into place. You will no longer act from desperation, no longer seek validation, no longer worry about how or when it will happen. Instead, you will move through life with a quiet confidence, a deep inner peace, and an unshakable knowing. And from this state, the world will reshape itself to reflect your assumption. Others may wonder at the ease with which things seem to unfold for you. They will call it luck, they will say you are blessed, they will not understand how effortlessly things come to you, but you will know that it was never luck, never coincidence, never the result of external effort. You will know that it was your inner state, your assumption, your unwavering belief that shaped your reality. And if you ever find yourself doubting, if you ever feel the temptation to return to old ways of thinking, remind yourself of this. What you assume to be true will always become your experience. There is no exception to this law. The only question is whether you are assuming what you want or whether you are assuming the absence of it. Every moment of every day you are creating. The choice is always yours. Look around you now and you will see the evidence of your past assumptions. The people in your life, the circumstances you face, the opportunities or struggles that appear, they are all reflections of past states of being. But if you do not like what you see, there is no need to dwell on it, no need to fight against it, no need to try and force it to change. Simply assume a new state and the world must follow. Do not concern yourself with how it will happen. The how is never your concern. The moment you attempt to figure out the means by which your desire will unfold, you are stepping out of faith and into doubt. You are placing limitations where none exist. Your only task is to assume the end, to live in the feeling of already having what you want, and to let the unseen forces orchestrate the rest. You may think, but I have done this before and nothing happened. If that is the case, then ask yourself, did you persist? Did you remain faithful to the assumption even when circumstances seemed unchanged? Or did you waver? Did you let doubt creep in? Did you slip back into old ways of thinking? This is where persistence is key. Those who persist in their assumption, despite all evidence to the contrary, are the ones who see their desires fulfilled. And what if you fail? What if doubt overtakes you? What if you find yourself slipping back into old patterns? Then simply begin again. There is no penalty for starting anew, no punishment for faltering. The moment you return to the assumption of the wish fulfilled, you are back on course. It does not matter how many times you have stumbled. What matters is that you continue to assume your desire as already done. And when the moment comes, when your assumption becomes reality, when the thing you have been praying for stands before you, it will feel so natural, so inevitable, that you will hardly remember a time when it was not yours. You will not be surprised, you will not be in awe, for you will know that it was always meant to be. You will see that reality is nothing more than the outpicturing of your imagination, that the world is a mirror, that you have always had the power to shape your experience. And once you have seen this truth for yourself, once you have experienced the undeniable reality of your own creative power, you will never again doubt. You will never again feel powerless, never again believe that you are at the mercy of fate. You will move through life with confidence, knowing that whatever you assume to be true must become your reality. And so I tell you once more that what you have been praying for is about to happen. Not by chance, not by luck, not by the will of some external force, but because you have accepted it as true, because you have dared to believe, because you have chosen to live in the end. Hold fast to this assumption. Do not waver, do not question, do not allow yourself to be moved by appearances. Remain faithful to the unseen, persist in the state of the wish fulfilled, and watch as the world rearranges itself in perfect accordance with your belief. For it is law, and the law never fails. You must understand that the world is nothing more than the reflection of your consciousness. There is no external force deciding your fate, no outside power granting or withholding your desires. The only thing determining your experience is what you assume to be true. And if you can grasp this, truly grasp it, not just in thought, but in deep, unwavering knowing, then there is nothing beyond your reach. It is not enough to merely wish, to merely hope, to say the words without feeling their truth. You must saturate your being with the certainty that your desire is already fulfilled. You must become so identified with the state of your wish fulfilled that there is no room for doubt, no space for questioning, no opportunity for contradiction to take hold. And when you reach this state, when you hold this assumption with complete conviction, the world must conform. It has no choice. You are always in motion, always shifting from one state to another, whether you realize it or not. Every thought, every emotion, every reaction is an acceptance of a particular reality. And each time you accept something as true, you give life to it. If you dwell in lack, if you identify with struggle, if you feel unworthy, then the world will show you evidence of these assumptions. Not because it is punishing you, but because it is obedient to your inner world. But the moment you decide, truly decide, to shift your assumption, everything begins to change. The change may not be visible at first, but that does not mean it is not happening. Just as the seed grows beneath the soil before it breaks through the surface, so too does your assumption begin to manifest long before it is seen. And if you remain steadfast, if you do not allow yourself to be shaken by appearances, then it will surely come to pass. There is no effort in this process. It is not about forcing change, not about struggling against the world, not about manipulating circumstances. It is about resting in the knowing that it is already done. It is about dwelling in the feeling of the wish fulfilled so completely that it becomes your natural state. And when it is your natural state, it must externalize in your world. Do not look to the past for confirmation of what is possible. The past is nothing but the outpicturing of previous states assumed. It has no power over you unless you give it power. If you continue to refer to past failures, past disappointments, past struggles, you are carrying them into your present and allowing them to shape your future. But the moment you release the past, the moment you step fully into the assumption of a new reality, the past loses its hold on you. Time itself bends to the intensity of your assumption. What once seemed distant can become immediate. What once seemed impossible can become effortless. There is no limitation except the one you accept. The moment you cease to place barriers between yourself and your desire, the moment you allow yourself to fully claim what is yours, it will flow into your life as naturally as the rising of the sun. Many wait for the world to change before they change within. They wait for evidence before they believe, but this is the great mistake. The world is only ever responding to your inner state. If you wish to see change, you must be the change. If you wish to receive, you must first assume that you have already received, and when this assumption becomes natural to you, the world will mirror it. But you must be vigilant. You must not entertain doubt, even for a moment. You must not allow external circumstances to shake your faith. The moment you question, the moment you look outside of yourself for reassurance, you are stepping out of the state of the wish fulfilled and back into the state of longing. And longing can only produce more longing. But knowing, true, unwavering knowing, produces manifestation. You may find that the world tests you, that circumstances arise to tempt you into disbelief. This is not a sign of failure. It is merely the fading echoes of your old assumptions attempting to pull you back. Do not be deceived by them. Stand firm in your new state. Do not react to the old. Do not give life to what no longer serves you. Simply persist in the new, and the old must dissolve. You do not need to know how it will happen. You do not need to know the exact sequence of events that will bring it to pass. The moment you concern yourself with the how, you are stepping into limitation. Your only task is to assume the end, to live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and to trust that the unseen forces are arranging everything perfectly on your behalf. There is a rhythm to life, a divine orchestration beyond what the human mind can conceive, and when you align yourself with the reality you desire, when you rest in the certainty that it is already yours, this unseen orchestration moves on your behalf. People will be moved, events will shift, circumstances will align in ways you could never have planned. But you must trust. You must remain faithful to the unseen, for the unseen is the only true reality. Think now of all the desires you have held, the things you have longed for, the prayers you have whispered in the silence of your own heart. They are not distant, they are not separate from you, they exist now, in this very moment, waiting only for your acceptance. The moment you stop seeking, stop longing, stop waiting, and instead assume that you already possess them, they will become visible in your world. Do not let the seeming delay discourage you. Do not allow yourself to be pulled back into the old state. The process is in motion, the reality is already taking shape, and when it appears, it will feel so natural, so effortless that you will wonder why you ever doubted. You will see with perfect clarity that it was never a matter of chance, never a matter of external forces granting or denying. It was always you. And once you have seen this truth, once you have experienced the power of your own assumption, you will never again be bound by limitation. You will move through life with a knowing that nothing is beyond your reach, that nothing is impossible, that everything you desire is already yours the moment you claim it. But you must claim it now, not tomorrow, not someday, not when circumstances seem favorable. Now. For now is all there is. The past is gone. The future is only a projection of your current state, and the only moment in which you can create is this one. Assume now that your prayer is already answered. Assume now that your desire is already fulfilled. Walk in that knowing, live in that certainty, and let nothing shake you from it. And as surely as the sun rises, as surely as the seasons change, as surely as the unseen governs the seen, your assumption will harden into fact. For this is law, and the law never fails. As we come to the close of this message, I want to remind you, your prayers have not been in vain. Every tear, every moment of faith, every time you held on when you felt like letting go, God has seen it all. And now your breakthrough is closer than ever. Get ready, because doors are about to open. Get ready, because what you've been believing for is about to manifest. The waiting season is turning into a season of answered prayers. But remember, preparation is key. When the blessing comes, Will you be ready to receive it? Keep your faith strong. Keep your heart expectant. Stay in position, because something amazing is on the way. Your testimony is about to be written, and when it happens, you will look back and say, it was all worth it. So stand firm, walk in faith, and get ready, because what you've been praying for is about to happen. There is a moment when the unseen becomes seen, when the formless takes form, and what was once only imagined stands before you in full reality. That moment is now. The promise you have held in the depths of your consciousness is on the verge of unfolding. The seed planted in the soil of your mind, watered by your faith and nurtured by your unwavering belief, is pushing through into the visible world. You do not need to beg or struggle, for all things already exist in the realm of the unseen. You are not waiting for something to happen, you are only to align yourself with that which is already yours. The very fact that you have desired it is proof that it is meant for you. Your longing is not a sign of lack, but a whisper from the infinite, calling you to claim what is already prepared. To receive, you must assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You must walk in the conviction that your miracle is not something to come, but something already present. Do not concern yourself with the how or when. These are not yours to manage. The bridge of incidents will unfold naturally, leading you to the very thing your heart has known to be true. The world will bend itself to reflect your inner state, and as you persist in the knowing, reality will conform to the certainty of your imagination. The promise has never been far from you. It is not outside of you. It is within you, waiting only for your recognition. The moment you fully accept it as done, the world will bear witness to its truth. The unseen will take shape, the impossible will become inevitable, and your miracle will no longer be a dream, but your living experience. The moment you accept that creation is finished, that all you seek is already yours, you step into the flow of the inevitable. You no longer struggle, no longer seek validation from the world, no longer look outside yourself for proof. The proof is within you, in the deep and sacred knowing that what you have imagined is not separate from you, it is you. The world you experience is simply the outpicturing of your inner state, and as you shift inwardly, the outer must follow. There is no power outside of you that grants or withholds. You are the operant power, the only creator in your world. What you assume as true hardens into fact. Every experience, every event, every so-called coincidence is merely the shadow of your inner consciousness taking form. Nothing happens by chance, nothing is random. There is an exact correspondence between the state you occupy within and the world you see without. So then, what does it mean to be ready for your miracle? It means to walk as though you have already received it. It means to feel with certainty the joy, the relief, the gratitude of having it now. Do not wait for the evidence before you believe. Belief is the cause, and evidence the effect. To say, I will believe it when I see it, is to put the cart before the horse. For all things are first seen within before they are ever seen without. You must persist in this knowing, even when the outer world seems to contradict it. When doubts arise, do not entertain them as if they have power. Acknowledge them, but do not dwell on them. They are merely remnants of the old state, the fading echoes of a past assumption. They hold no power unless you choose to give them life. Every great manifestation in history, every so-called miracle, has followed this exact pattern. Those who received did so because they first knew within themselves that it was already so. They did not waver, did not question, did not wait for external confirmation. They assumed the feeling of their wish fulfilled and rested in that assumption, allowing the unseen to take shape. Your miracle is not far. It is not something distant, not something you must struggle for. It is already yours, waiting for you to claim it. The only question is, are you willing to accept it now? Are you willing to cast aside doubt, fear, and the illusion of time, and instead step fully into the certainty of your desire? Are you willing to assume that it is done, even before the world has conformed to show you its truth? You do not need to manipulate circumstances, to force things into place, to figure out how your miracle will come to be. The means are not yours to determine. Your only task is to occupy the state of the wish fulfilled. When you do this, the bridge of incidents will unfold before you in ways you could never have planned or anticipated. People, events, and circumstances will rearrange themselves to bring your assumption into reality, for the world is but a mirror, reflecting back the state you dwell in most persistently. Think not of your miracle as something that must be earned. It is already given, already complete. The moment you conceived it, it was finished. Your task is only to accept it, to live in the end, to feel the reality of it now, and to refuse to entertain anything that contradicts this truth. If you seek healing, do not wait to feel whole. Assume that you are already healed, that your body is already renewed, and let your consciousness dwell in that state. If you seek abundance, do not act from a place of lack. Walk as though wealth already surrounds you, as though you are already provided for in every way. If you seek love, do not look outward for validation. Know that love is already yours, that you are already cherished, already deeply connected. You cannot serve two masters, you cannot hold two opposing beliefs at once. If you affirm your miracle, yet dwell in doubt, you delay its unfolding. If you persist in the knowing that it is done, the world has no choice but to yield. Time is an illusion, and all things exist now. Your assumption, if held unwaveringly, collapses time and brings the unseen into view. The longer you entertain doubt, the longer you delay. But the moment you fully surrender to the truth of your desire's fulfillment, the moment you let go of needing proof and instead live as though it is already yours, you step into the miraculous. There is no effort needed beyond this, no struggle, no striving, no pleading. Creation is finished. Everything you could ever desire already exists in potential, waiting only for your assumption to call it forth. The world is your canvas, your imagination the brush. What you choose to see, what you choose to believe, is what will be painted upon your reality. You are not bound by circumstances, by past failures, by the seeming limitations of the physical world. The only thing that limits you is your own belief, and belief is entirely within your control. Change what you believe, and the world will change to match it. So, be as the one who has already received. Speak as though it is already done. Move through your day with the quiet confidence of one who knows their prayer has already been answered. Let gratitude fill your heart, not as a plea, but as a natural response to the certainty of fulfillment. Your miracle is now. It is unfolding in perfect order in divine timing in the exact way that is most natural for you. You need only to accept, to trust, to remain faithful to the vision within you. The world is responding. The unseen is becoming seen. What once seemed impossible is now inevitable. Stand firm in your knowing, hold fast to your assumption. Live in the end and let the world catch up. The promise is unfolding, and your miracle is already here. The world you see is but the reflection of the world within you. It has always been so, and it will always be so. The conditions of your life, the people you meet, the circumstances you find yourself in, all of it is simply the outpicturing of your inner state. If you desire to change the world around you, there is no need to manipulate external conditions, no need to strive, no need to push or pull at reality. The only work is within. Every transformation, every miracle, every shift in experience begins first in the unseen realm of imagination. The moment you accept this, the moment you stop looking outside for confirmation and instead look within for certainty, your world must change. It is law, and it is unerring. What you accept as true within must express itself without. It is not a question of if, it is only a question of when, and the when is determined by the intensity and persistence of your assumption. Many falter not because they do not believe, but because they do not persist. They plant the seed of their desire, but instead of letting it take root, they dig it up with doubt. They wonder when it will happen, how it will come to pass, if they are truly worthy of it. But the seed does not need your interference. It only needs your trust. A farmer does not stand over his crops and demand that they grow fast. He does not pull at the roots to check if they are sprouting. He plants, he waters, and he trusts. He knows that the laws of nature are certain, that the harvest is inevitable. So it is with your desires. The moment you assume them to be true, the moment you dwell in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the process has begun. There is nothing more to do but persist in that state, to refuse to be shaken by appearances, to rest in the knowing that it is done. Your only responsibility is to remain faithful to the vision, to walk in the certainty that what you have imagined is already yours. To those who say, "But I do not see it yet," I ask, where are you looking? Are you looking to the world of form, the world of effects, to tell you what is real? Or are you looking within, to the world of cause, where all things begin? The unseen is the reality, and the visible is merely its shadow. If you wish to change the shadow, you must first change the light that casts it. There is no such thing as an idle thought. Every thought you entertain, every assumption you accept, every feeling you dwell in is shaping your world. It does not matter whether you are conscious of it or not. Creation is always happening. You are always imagining something, always assuming something, always believing something, and whatever you persist in, whether wanted or unwanted, will harden into fact. If you wish to receive your miracle, you must become conscious of what you are habitually imagining. You must take control of the inner conversation that runs ceaselessly in your mind. Are you speaking as one who has already received? Are you thinking from the end, feeling from the end, living from the end? Or are you allowing old patterns of doubt, fear, and lack to dominate your inner world? You do not need to beg or plead for your desire to manifest. You do not need to convince anyone, to prove anything, to seek permission from the world. All you need is to believe that it is already yours, to rest in the certainty that the unseen is just as real, if not more real, than the seen. The world is fluid, malleable, shaped entirely by your consciousness. The moment you fully accept this truth, you will see the evidence of it everywhere. Some will say, "But my circumstances are too difficult, the facts are against me, the world tells me it is impossible." But what are circumstances but the reflection of past assumptions? What are facts but the crystallized beliefs of yesterday? If you continue to accept the present conditions as unchangeable, then you will remain bound by them. But the moment you withdraw your attention from appearances and fix your mind upon the unseen reality of your wish fulfilled, the outer world must conform. It may not happen in the way you expect. It may not come through the channels you anticipate. But that is not your concern. The how is never your concern. Your only task is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption, no matter what. The world will rearrange itself in ways you cannot foresee. Doors will open where there were none before. People will appear at the right time, in the right place, speaking the right words. Opportunities will arise seemingly out of nowhere. These are not accidents, not coincidences. They are the natural outworking of your assumption. But do not falter when the bridge of incidents begins to unfold. There may be moments when it seems as though nothing is happening, moments when circumstances appear to contradict your assumption. Do not be deceived by appearances. The delay is only an illusion. The old must fall away to make room for the new. What you see as obstacles are merely the necessary steps in the unseen process of fulfillment. If you persist, if you refuse to waver, if you remain steadfast in your knowing, then your desire must take form. You do not need to force anything. You do not need to strive. Your miracle is not something to be chased. It is something to be received. It is already yours, already complete, already done. The only requirement is that you align yourself with it, that you make it real in your imagination before it becomes real in the world. Live as though you have already received it. Feel the relief, the joy, the gratitude. Let your inner state be one of already having rather than one of waiting. Waiting implies separation, and separation delays the manifestation. But the moment you accept that it is already so, the moment you move from desire to fulfillment, from longing to possession, the world must bend to reflect your new state. If you knew beyond all doubt that what you have imagined is inevitable, how would you live? How would you think? How would you speak? Would you still entertain fear? Would you still question? Would you still wait for the world to show you proof before you believed? Or would you walk with confidence? This is the secret to receiving. It is not about forcing, not about effort, not about struggle. It is about knowing. Knowing that the promise is already kept. Knowing that what you have imagined is not a future possibility but a present reality. Knowing that the unseen is just as real, if not more real, than the seen. And when you know this, when you live from this state, the miracle must come. The world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match the conviction you hold within. It is law, it is inevitable, it is done. There is no force outside of you that determines what you can or cannot have. The only power is within, and it is your own consciousness. Every limitation you believe in is a self-imposed one. Every obstacle you perceive is but the projection of your own inner doubts. The moment you release those doubts, the moment you choose to accept only the truth of your fulfilled desire, everything changes. The world you see is not fixed, it is fluid, a mirror responding to your assumption. So long as you continue to look to the outside world for confirmation, you remain bound by it. But the moment you turn within, the moment you claim your power as the creator of your experience, you break free. You are not here to be ruled by circumstances. You are here to rule them. You are not a victim of fate. You are its master. The only thing required of you is to accept this truth and live by it. Many will say they understand this, yet they continue to waver. They imagine their desire fulfilled, but then they question, they doubt. They check their circumstances to see if there is any evidence. When they do not see immediate proof, they allow fear to creep in. They allow their old assumptions to regain control. And so they remain stuck in the same cycle, wondering why their desire has not yet appeared. But faith does not waver. Faith does not need proof. Faith knows that what is held firmly in the mind must externalize itself in due time. The seed that is planted does not instantly bear fruit, but the process has begun. It is growing beneath the surface, unseen but inevitable. And just as no farmer digs up his crop in impatience, no conscious creator should doubt the unfolding of their assumption. If you were to completely abandon every doubt, every worry, every thought of separation from your desire, how quickly would it manifest? The only thing that stands between you and the realization of your miracle is the persistence of your old beliefs. But the moment you truly let go of them, the moment you rest entirely in the certainty that your wish is already fulfilled, time collapses and the unseen becomes seen. There is nothing to force. You do not need to chase, to beg, to struggle. You need only to embody the state of fulfillment, to carry yourself as one who already possesses that which they desire. The feeling is the secret. If you would only take on the feeling of already having, already being, already experiencing that which you seek, the world would rush to make it so. But so many hold themselves back. They hesitate to fully step into the assumption of their wish fulfilled because they are still bound by the evidence of their senses. They are still conditioned by past experiences, by the limitations they have accepted as real. But what is real? Is it what the world shows you now, a reflection of past states of consciousness? Or is it what you claim within, that which you assume and persist in regardless of appearances? To receive your miracle, you must shift your sense of reality. You must no longer see your desire as something distant, something that may or may not happen, something you must wait for. You must see it as now. You must know that the moment you accept it in consciousness, it is done. This is not mere wishful thinking. This is not fantasy. This is the fundamental nature of reality. Everything in this world, everything you have ever experienced, was once only a thought. The house you live in, the clothes you wear, the relationships you have, the very life you are living. All of it was once unseen, merely an idea, an assumption that became form. And if you examine your own life, you will see that this has always been true. The moment you fully accept something as true, the world shifts to match it. This has always been the case, whether you were conscious of it or not. But now, knowing this truth, you can use it deliberately. You can choose in every moment to dwell in the reality you prefer. Your miracle does not require effort. It does not require struggle. It requires surrender, the complete and total acceptance that it is already done. When you reach this state, there is no more questioning, no more seeking, no more doubt. There is only certainty, a deep and unshakable knowing that what you have imagined is real, and that the world must reflect it. And when you arrive at this knowing, you will see it happen. You will watch as the world bends to meet you. The people, the circumstances, the opportunities, all of it will arrange itself perfectly. You will look back and realize that nothing was ever out of place, that everything was unfolding precisely as it needed to. Even what once seemed like obstacles will be revealed as stepping stones, necessary movements on the path to your fulfillment. Do not fear the unfolding. Do not resist the process. Your only job is to remain faithful to the vision, to persist in the knowing that your desire is already yours. It does not matter if the world has not yet shown you proof. It does not matter if appearances contradict it. Those who receive are those who persist in their knowing despite all else. Think now of the thing you desire most. See it in your mind, not as something distant, not as something hoped for, but as something already here. How does it feel to have it? How does it feel to know it is yours? Dwell in that feeling. Let it take root within you. Let it become your natural state. Carry yourself as the one who already has it. Speak as though it is already done. Think from the place of fulfillment, and as you do, reality will conform. The unseen will become seen. The promise will unfold before your very eyes. There is nothing more to do, there is nothing more to wait for. The time is now, the power is within you, the miracle is already here. All that remains is for you to accept it. You have been told that faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This is not a poetic statement, it is the foundation of creation. Faith is not hoping that something will happen in the future. It is knowing beyond all doubt that it is already so. It is not a desperate wish, nor is it blind optimism. Faith is the quiet, unwavering conviction that what you have conceived in your imagination is already a reality. And yet, many falter because they allow the outer world to dictate their beliefs. They look around and see only what has been, only the reflections of past states of consciousness. They measure their progress by what their senses tell them, instead of standing firm in what they know to be true within. But the outer world is always a step behind. It is always the product of a previous assumption. If you wish to change it, you cannot wait for confirmation from it. You must believe before you see, not after. Your imagination is the blueprint of reality. Every great achievement, every so-called miracle, every breakthrough has first been imagined before it became visible. The law is simple. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, persist in that assumption, and the world must conform. It is not a question of if, it is only a question of when. But the moment you entertain doubt, the moment you waver, you delay your manifestation. When you question, when you wonder if it is really working, when you look to the world for validation, you are stepping out of the state of fulfillment and back into the state of lack. And the world, being nothing more than a mirror, reflects that lack back to you. If you would hold to your assumption, if you would refuse to be moved by appearances, if you would dwell only in the feeling of already having, already being, already experiencing, your desire would take form with absolute certainty. It is law, and it does not fail. The mistake so many make is thinking they must struggle, they must work hard, they must prove themselves worthy of their desires. But the truth is far simpler. You do not receive what you work for, you receive what you assume to be true. The one who effortlessly assumes abundance will always have it. The one who assumes struggle will always struggle. The one who assumes love will always find it. The one who assumes rejection will always encounter it. It is never about effort, it is about the state you occupy. If you would simply dwell in the state of your wish fulfilled, if you would make it real in your imagination and feel it deeply as though it were already here, the world would have no choice but to make it so. Nothing is denied to the one who persists. Nothing is impossible for the one who refuses to accept the limitations imposed by the senses. The moment you decide to see with the eyes of faith instead of the eyes of fear, the moment you choose to believe in the unseen more than you believe in what is currently visible, you will step into the miraculous. And do not think that this applies only to some and not to others. The law is universal. It does not favor one person over another. It is as impartial as the law of gravity. It does not ask whether you are deserving, whether you have worked hard enough, whether you have waited long enough. It simply responds to your assumption. If you believe that miracles are rare, they will be rare for you. If you believe that what you want is difficult to attain, it will be difficult. If you believe that you must struggle and strive to achieve anything, that will be your experience. But if you believe that the unseen is just as real as the seen, if you accept that your desires are already fulfilled the moment you claim them, then the world must conform to this knowing. Your work is not to manipulate circumstances. It is not to force things into place. Your only work is within, to assume, to believe, to feel, and to persist. The how does not matter. The when does not matter. The only thing that matters is your certainty. And what does it mean to be certain? It means you no longer ask, you no longer wonder, you no longer question, you rest in the knowing that it is done. You carry yourself as the one who already has it. You feel the relief, the gratitude, the joy as though it were already here. And when you do this, time collapses and the unseen becomes seen. But so many get caught in the trap of waiting. They tell themselves that they will believe once they see the first signs, that they will feel grateful once they receive. But this is not the way of creation. You must feel now. You must assume now. And if you do, if you truly live from the end, if you refuse to entertain anything that contradicts your desire, you will see the world transform before you. The doors that once seemed closed will open effortlessly. The obstacles that once stood in your way will dissolve. The opportunities you once thought were impossible will appear as if by magic. But it is not magic. It is simply the outpicturing of your own state of consciousness. This is the secret that has been known by all who have ever achieved the seemingly impossible. It is not luck. It is not coincidence. It is not chance. It is law. And the law is as simple as this. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Persist in that feeling, and it must become your reality. It is already done. The moment you accepted your desire and imagination, it was finished. Your only task now is to remain faithful to this truth. Do not waver. Do not allow appearances to deceive you. Do not let doubt take root. Simply know that it is done, and let the world prove it to you. And when the world does, when you look around and see the evidence of what you once only held in imagination, you will realize that you have always had the power. You will understand that creation is finished, that all things already exist, and that you need only to align yourself with that which you seek. So walk as the one who already has it. Speak as the one who already knows. Think from the place of fulfillment. And as you do, watch as the miracle unfolds before your very eyes. It is inevitable. It is law. It is done. You are the cause and the world is the effect. The moment you truly grasp this, the moment you understand that nothing comes into your experience except through your own assumption, you will no longer be at the mercy of circumstances. You will no longer wait You will no longer doubt, and you will no longer question. You will simply know, and in that knowing, you will rest. You will move through the world with a quiet confidence, an inner stillness that is unshaken by appearances. You will cease looking for signs, for you will understand that signs follow, they do not precede. You will no longer ask how, for you will understand that the how is not your concern. The bridge of incidents will unfold in its own perfect way, and all you must do is remain faithful to the state of fulfillment. But so many cannot let go. They hold tightly to their old assumptions, clinging to the belief that they must struggle, that they must earn, that they must prove themselves worthy. And as long as they believe this, the world will reflect it. It is not that the universe withholds, it is that they have not yet claimed what is already theirs. Nothing is being kept from you. There is no force that decides whether or not you receive. The only thing that determines what you experience is what you persist in assuming. And the moment you assume something different, the moment you choose to occupy a new state, the world must shift to match it. Some will say, "But I have imagined my wish fulfilled and yet I see no change." But to this I ask, have you truly persisted? Have you truly remained faithful? Or have you allowed doubt to creep in? Have you, in moments of frustration, slipped back into the old state? Have you entertained the thought, even for a moment, that maybe it is not working? For if you have done so, you have delayed your manifestation. The law does not fail, but it demands unwavering persistence. It demands that you hold to your assumption no matter what the outer world shows you. It demands that you refuse to be moved by anything except the truth you have accepted within. And if you would do this, if you would stand firm in your knowing, if you would dwell only in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you would see the evidence unfold before you. You would witness the outer world rearrange itself to reflect your inner conviction. But the waiting mind asks when. The doubting mind asks how. The fearful mind asks what if. And each of these questions only serves to reinforce the idea that your desire is not yet yours. Each moment spent in waiting is a moment spent in lack. Each moment spent in doubt is a moment spent in separation from your miracle. You must let go of time. You must let go of process. You must let go of every thought that suggests that your desire is something far away, something uncertain, something that requires effort. It is already done. It is already complete. It is already here. And when you fully accept this, when you no longer look to the world to confirm it, but instead move through life as though it is already so, you will see how swiftly reality bends to meet you. The miracle is not in the manifestation itself. It is in the moment you shift your consciousness to accept it as already real. The manifestation is merely the inevitable result of that shift. But those who dwell in fear will see reasons to fear. Those who dwell in doubt will find reasons to doubt. Those who expect difficulty will encounter obstacles at every turn. The world does not test you. It only reflects you. It only gives you back what you are conscious of being. If you wish to see change, then change within. Assume a new state, occupy a new consciousness, feel a new feeling, and as you do, the world will mirror it back to you with precision. It cannot do otherwise. This is why struggle is unnecessary. This is why effort is futile. The moment you accept that you are already the person you wish to be, the world will confirm it. The moment you move from wanting to having, from seeking to knowing, from hoping to certainty, the thing you desire will come to you effortlessly. But you must make a firm decision. You must choose once and for all to live from the end. You must decide that your wish is not something you will one day experience, but something that is yours now. And once you have made this decision, you must refuse to entertain anything that contradicts it. Do not speak of delay. Do not dwell in frustration. Do not look to the world for validation. Simply assume, feel, and persist. Walk through life with the quiet assurance that what you have claimed within will soon be visible without. And when it happens, when you see it unfold before you, you will not be surprised. You will not be in awe. You will not marvel at how it came to be. You will simply nod in quiet knowing. For you will understand that it could not have been otherwise. The world is responding to you now. The process has already begun. The only question is, will you persist? Will you refuse to waver? Will you stand in your conviction no matter what appears before you? For if you do, if you hold fast to your assumption with absolute certainty, then nothing in the world can keep your miracle from you. It is already yours. It has always been yours. And the moment you fully accept this truth, it will be made manifest. You must remember that creation is finished. Nothing is being formed in the future. It already exists in its entirety, waiting only for you to step into the awareness of its reality. The only thing that separates you from your desire is the belief that you are separate from it. The moment you accept that it is already yours, the illusion of time collapses and the world moves to bring it into your experience. The mind, conditioned by the senses, struggles to grasp this truth. It wants evidence. It wants proof. It wants the world to change before it believes. But this is not how creation works. You must first believe. You must first accept. You must first assume. The outer world is always secondary, always a reflection, always an effect. The cause is within you, and it has always been within you. Think not of your miracle as something far away, something that is coming to you. Think of it as something already here, something already yours, something you are now aligning with. The moment you shift your perspective in this way, the waiting ceases and the receiving begins. You have never lacked anything. You have only ever lacked awareness of what is already yours. The moment you recognize that you and your desire are one, that you are not separate from it, that you do not need to earn it, fight for it, or struggle to attain it, the world will move in ways beyond logic to deliver it into your hands. The mind may resist this. It may try to pull you back into old assumptions, old fears, old doubts. But you must hold fast. You must persist. You must remind yourself, moment by moment, that you are already the person you wish to be, that you already have what you seek, that the world is merely catching up to your new state of being. And when you feel the urge to check, when you feel the impulse to look for proof, remind yourself that the proof is within you. The outer world will only ever reflect what you have accepted within. If you wish to see change, you must first embody that change internally. If you wish to experience a miracle, you must first believe in its inevitability. Nothing in the world is more powerful than your assumption. No obstacle, no circumstance, no history, no so-called limitation can override the simple law that what you assume to be true will be made real. The only thing that delays your miracle is the wavering mind, the divided attention, the unwillingness to fully commit to the reality you desire. You do not need to convince anyone. You do not need to explain yourself. You do not need to seek validation from the world. The moment you claim your desire as already fulfilled, the moment you decide that it is done, you have set a process into motion that cannot be stopped unless you choose to stop it. And so you must live in the end. You must embody the feeling of already having. You must speak as though it is done, act as though it is done, move through life with the quiet certainty that it is done. And as you do, the world will shift to match your conviction. But many hesitate. They allow themselves to be swayed by appearances. They allow the outer world to dictate their inner state. But this is not how the law works. The world does not change first, you do. And when you do, when you assume your desired reality as your present reality, the world must reflect it. There is nothing complicated about this. There is no force outside of you deciding whether or not you are worthy. There is no external judge determining what you can or cannot have. There is only your assumption, your belief, your conviction. You are already that which you seek. The moment you stop looking outside yourself, the moment you stop waiting for signs, the moment you decide to see yourself as already in possession of your desire, the world will confirm it. And when it happens, when your assumption hardens into fact, you will realize that it was never about the manifestation itself. It was always about you. It was always about your ability to hold faith in the unseen, to persist in the face of doubt, to claim what was already yours. The greatest barrier to receiving is the illusion of waiting. The belief that you must wait implies that what you desire is separate from you, that it is not yet yours. But the truth is that it has always been yours, and the only thing that can keep it at a distance is the assumption that it is distant. You must assume now, you must feel now, you must walk in the reality of your fulfilled desire now. And when you do, the world must bow to your assumption. And so the question remains, will you persist? Will you hold firm in your knowing? Will you refuse to be moved by appearances, by time, by the illusion of separation? For if you do, your miracle will not be something hoped for. It will be something experienced. It will be something lived. It will be something undeniable. The choice has always been yours. It will always be yours. And the moment you choose to accept your desire as already fulfilled, the world will make it so. And so, the truth remains unchanged. You are the creator of your experience, the master of your reality, the operant power in your world. Nothing stands between you and the fulfillment of your desires except the belief that something does. The moment you cast aside doubt, the moment you cease looking to the outer world for validation, the moment you claim your miracle is already yours, it must come to pass. There is no waiting, there is no struggle, there is no force outside of you that must grant you permission. You are not bound by circumstances, by history, or by the opinions of others. The only thing that determines what you experience is what you assume to be true. And so, will you persist? Will you hold to the reality of your wish fulfilled, even when the world suggests otherwise? Will you choose in every moment to live from the end, to embody the feeling of already having? For if you do, there is no power in existence that can keep your miracle from you. The promise is unfolding. The unseen is becoming seen. That which was once only imagined is now making its way into form. Walk in confidence, in certainty, in quiet knowing. For it is done, it has always been done, and the moment you accept this fully, the world will rush to show you what has always been yours. You are not merely flesh and bone, nor are you at the mercy of fate. Within you, in the deep recesses of your mind, lies a force so magnificent, so boundless, that it shapes the world before you. This force, this divine power, is not separate from you, it is you. Your thoughts are not idle whispers passing through the corridors of your mind. They are commands, blueprints, the unseen architects of your reality. What you hold in consciousness with conviction must clothe itself in form. What you accept as true with feeling must take root in the fabric of your world. If you would dare to assume the highest, to see yourself not as a beggar before the throne of life, but as the very maker of your experience, then you would know the power that has always been yours. And so, I ask you now, what reality will you choose to create? You are the operant power. The world you see, the experiences you encounter, the circumstances that rise and fall before you, none of these exist outside of you. They are projections of your inner state, shadows cast by the light of your consciousness. There is no force shaping your life beyond your own mind. When you truly grasp this, you will understand that the power of God is not something to be sought in the heavens or begged for in prayer. It is the breath within you, the awareness that perceives, the imagination that gives life to every form. Most live as though they are at the mercy of the world, believing that events happen to them, not through them. They attribute their conditions to luck, to fate, to forces beyond their control, when in truth every experience is an echo of their own beliefs. If you look at your life now and find it lacking, if you feel trapped by limitations, it is not because the world has conspired against you. It is because in the silence of your own mind, you have consented to this reality. You have assumed it, accepted it, and so it has become. But here is the great revelation. What has been assumed can be changed. What has been imagined into existence can be reimagined into something greater. You need not remain where you are. The key is not in struggle, not in desperate effort, but in the quiet mastery of your own consciousness. Your only task is to assume with unwavering certainty that you already are the person you wish to be. The moment you do, reality must bend to match your assumption. Doubt not this truth, for you have already been living by it. Have you not noticed how your deepest fears, when given attention, seem to find their way into your life? Have you not seen how those who dwell in lack continue to experience scarcity, while those who walk with confidence find doors opening before them? This is not coincidence, it is law. The law that what you believe with feeling must externalize itself in the world. You have been given the greatest gift, the power to imagine, to feel, to embody a state before the evidence appears. This is the divine process of creation. You need not beg or plead for change. You need only dwell in the certainty that what you seek is already yours. When you close your eyes and see yourself as abundant, when you feel within yourself the confidence of one who is already successful, already loved, already fulfilled, then and only then will the world reflect this truth back to you. Some will say, but how can I believe in what I do not yet see? And to them I say, you have always believed in things unseen. Did you not as a child believe in your fears before they manifested? Did you not entertain worries long before they became realities? The same mind that has unknowingly shaped hardships can just as easily mold joy. The only difference is the direction of your attention. If you persist in imagining yourself in possession of that which you desire, you will find the outer world reshaping itself in ways you could never have predicted. Do not concern yourself with the how. That is not your work. Your task is only to hold the assumption, to feel it so deeply that it becomes more real to you than your current conditions. When you dwell in the state of your fulfilled desire, the means will unfold effortlessly. Opportunities will arise, ideas will come, people and circumstances will shift, all in response to your inner transformation. There is nothing in your life now that has not first been created within. Look at the patterns of your thoughts, and you will see the script you have been unknowingly writing. If your days are filled with struggle, ask yourself, what beliefs have I accepted that make struggle inevitable? If love eludes you, question, what assumptions have I held about myself and others that repel the very thing I seek? The moment you change your concept of self, the world must follow. It has no choice. The secret is to live from the end, to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to walk, speak, and think as though you were already in possession of your desire. This is not pretense, it is the law of consciousness. Whatever state you assume with conviction must externalize itself in due time. The great error of man is believing that he must first see before he can believe. But the truth is the opposite. You must first believe, wholly and without doubt, before you can see. Those who have mastered this truth move through life with an ease unknown to others. They do not struggle, for they understand that reality is but a mirror. They need not fight against circumstances, for they know circumstances are merely the outpicturing of a former state of consciousness. They do not complain, they do not dwell on lack, for they know to do so would only perpetuate the same. Instead, they assume the best, and the best unfolds. And so I ask you now, what are you choosing to assume? What reality are you giving life to in the silence of your own mind? If you desire abundance, are you thinking from wealth, or are you thinking of it as something distant? If you long for love, do you see yourself as one who is loved, cherished, and sought after? Or do you hold yourself apart from the very love you crave? Be honest. For consciousness does not lie. It reveals to you precisely what you believe to be true. To change your world, you must first change yourself, not through effort, not through force, but through the quiet, unwavering decision to dwell in the state of your fulfilled desire. Assume it now, live in it now, feel it now. Let go of the need to question, to doubt, to seek validation in the outer world. Your inner world is the only reality, and as surely as the sun must rise, what you persist in assuming must become your experience. You are not small, you are not powerless, you are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are the creator. You always have been. There has never been another force shaping your life but the one within you. And now, knowing this, what will you create? You are always in the process of becoming, always unfolding into the image you hold of yourself in the depths of your consciousness. Every thought, every assumption, every feeling is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your mind, and in due time it must bring forth fruit. The law is exact. It does not err, nor does it discriminate between what you consciously desire and what you unconsciously accept. Whether you assume greatness or mediocrity, abundance or lack, joy or sorrow, the law fulfills without question. It is not concerned with what you wish were true. It is only concerned with what you believe to be true. And belief is not a thing of idle words. It is not the mere repetition of affirmations or the mechanical practice of techniques. It is the deep, unshakable feeling that something is so, even before the world has provided evidence of it. When you believe something with all your being, you no longer seek signs of its coming, nor do you entertain doubt or delay. You move in the confidence that what you have imagined is already yours. You speak, think, and act as one who knows, not one who hopes. But herein lies the challenge. Most live in constant contradiction. They say they desire wealth, but continue to dwell in the feeling of lack. They pray for love, but remain in the assumption of loneliness. They wish for success, but hold themselves in the vibration of failure. And so their lives become a cycle of struggle, not because they are incapable of change, but because they have not disciplined their minds to remain faithful to the unseen reality they wish to bring forth. The world is a mirror, reflecting back to you not your spoken desires, but your dominant state of being. You need only look around to see the evidence of the assumptions you have habitually entertained. If life has seemed cruel, if obstacles appear insurmountable, if happiness feels fleeting, it is only because you have unconsciously accepted these conditions as true. You may say you wish for ease and joy, but if your secret conversations, your quiet moments of reflection, are filled with worry, doubt, and complaint, then you are merely reinforcing the very reality you seek to escape. But there is no permanence in these conditions. There is no bondage but that which you accept. At any moment you may step into a new state, and the world must follow, not by force, not by external struggle, but by the simple, quiet act of assuming a new reality. Assume it now, as though it were already true. Do not wait for the evidence, for evidence always follows assumption. It never precedes it. The world cannot give you what you have not first given to yourself in consciousness. You need not know how the transformation will occur. The how is not your concern. It is the work of a higher intelligence, a divine order that moves all things into place. Your only responsibility is to hold fast to the state desired, to persist in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and to trust that all things will rearrange themselves accordingly. And they will, for they must. The moment you take possession of a new concept of yourself, the world has no choice but to conform. But persistence is key. Many falter not because the law has failed them, but because they have failed to remain faithful to their assumption. They plant the seed, but dig it up each day in search of signs. They step into the new state only to slip back into the old at the first sign of difficulty. And so they remain trapped between two worlds, never fully leaving one, nor fully entering the other. Do not let this be your story. Assume boldly, without hesitation, without concern for appearances. If you desire health, do not wait for symptoms to change. Assume now that you are whole, vibrant, and strong. If you seek success, do not look to your present conditions for proof. Move as one who already possesses the confidence, the opportunities, the wealth you desire. If you wish for love, do not dwell in loneliness. Carry yourself as one who is already deeply cherished, already chosen, already fulfilled. For what you are in imagination, you shall become in reality. And imagination is not some fleeting daydream. It is the very power by which all things are created. It is the divine faculty through which the unseen becomes seen, the intangible made tangible. When you close your eyes and enter the realm of imagination, you are not escaping reality, you are shaping it. Every time you assume a new state with feeling, you are impressing upon the subconscious mind, and the subconscious, being no respecter of persons, must bring forth in kind. Many have sought to explain this power in scientific terms, in philosophies of mind and matter, in theories of attraction and vibration, but the truth is simple. Consciousness creates reality. As you are within, so shall it be without. Your only limitation is the one you refuse to release. If you will but change your concept of self, the world must shift to reflect it. But do not seek to change only the outer. Too often men attempt to alter circumstances while remaining unchanged within, and so their efforts come to nothing. They strive, they toil, they push against the world, yet their inner dialogue remains the same. And so, though they may see fleeting success, they find themselves returning again and again to the same struggles, the same patterns. The true work is inward. Change your self-concept and the world will take care of itself. Hold the image of your ideal with unwavering faith, and the world must conform. This is the law. This is the power given to you before the foundations of the world. Use it wisely, use it deliberately, and above all, use it now. For there is no tomorrow in the realm of consciousness. There is only now. The present moment is the point of creation, the place where all things begin. If you postpone your assumption, you postpone your reality. Do not wait for a better time, a better condition, a better circumstance. Assume now that you are already the person you wish to be. Claim it fully, embody it completely, and let the world reshape itself around this new image. Your mind is the gatekeeper, your imagination the architect, your assumption the blueprint. You are never without power, never without the ability to transform, never without the means to rise into a greater expression of yourself. If you would but believe with the certainty of one who knows, rather than the hesitation of one who hopes, you would see miracles unfold before your very eyes. There is no force outside of you deciding your fate. There is no destiny written in stone. There is only your consciousness, forever shaping, forever molding, forever creating. And so I ask again, what will you choose to create? What reality will you dare to assume? For as you believe, so shall it be done unto you. The moment you assume a thing to be true in consciousness, it begins its journey into form. Do not be deceived by appearances, for they are but the shadows of past assumptions. Look not to the world for validation, for the world is always one step behind the movement of your mind. If you desire change, do not seek it in the external. Turn within. Assume the state you wish to see expressed, and let the outer world catch up in its own time. Many live as prisoners of their senses, believing only in what they can see, touch, and measure. They wait for proof before they believe, never realizing that belief is the cause and proof the effect. They see an empty bank account and feel lack rather than assuming abundance. They look at their lonely life and feel despair rather than assuming they are already loved. They let circumstances dictate their state of being, when in truth, it is their state of being that dictates circumstances. To live by appearances is to be enslaved by them, but to live by assumption is to wield the power of God Himself. For assumption, when sustained, hardens into fact. This is the law, and it has never failed. You have been using it all your life, though perhaps unknowingly. Every condition you have now, good or bad, is simply the result of past assumptions, past beliefs, past states of being that have crystallized into form. If you do not like what you see, change the cause. Change the assumption, and the effect must follow. There is no reality apart from consciousness. There is no power greater than your own assumption. The world is not happening to you, it is happening through you. Every conversation you hold in the quiet of your mind is shaping your destiny. Every feeling you nurture is writing the script of your life. If you are constantly worrying, constantly fearing, constantly dwelling on limitations, you are merely giving life to that which you do not want. The law does not discriminate, it gives you exactly what you accept as true. But here is the liberating truth. Just as you have unknowingly created hardship, you can just as easily create joy. Just as you have unconsciously assumed lack, you can now consciously assume wealth. Just as you have dwelled in doubt, you can now dwell in faith. It is simply a matter of shifting your inner world, for the outer must follow. There is no effort in this, no struggle, no battle to be fought. The only battle is with the old self, the old identity that seeks to keep you bound to past assumptions. Do not look at your present conditions and call them permanent. They are but reflections of an old state, echoes of a past assumption that no longer serves you. Let them fade as they must, for they have no power except that which you continue to give them. Instead, turn your full attention to the new. Assume the feeling of already being the person you desire to be. Walk as though it were so. Speak as though it were so. Think as though it were so. And the world will rearrange itself to make it so. Many will say, but my senses deny it. How can I assume what is not yet visible? And to them I say, this is the very essence of creation. The tree does not yet exist in the seed, yet the seed knows it is a tree. The butterfly is not yet visible in the caterpillar, yet it knows it will emerge. Creation does not happen in the realm of the seen. It happens first in the unseen, and only then does it take form. To demand evidence before you believe is to put effect before cause. It is to deny the very nature of creation itself. You are not here to react to the world, you are here to create it. Do not wait for proof. Do not look to circumstances for permission to believe. Assume now in this moment that you already are what you wish to be. Live in that state, dwell in that feeling, and let the world take care of the rest. It is already done the moment you assume it to be so. The delay, if any, is only in your own wavering, in your own doubt, in your own unwillingness to fully claim that which is already yours. The power is yours, and it has always been yours. You do not need to earn it. You do not need to seek it from another. It is within you as it has always been. You need only to use it consciously, deliberately, and with full confidence in its certainty. Assume the highest and best, not just for yourself, but for all. Assume peace, assume love, assume abundance, and let those assumptions shape your world. And so I ask you again, what reality will you choose to assume? For as you believe, so shall it be done unto you. You have always been the creator of your reality, though perhaps unknowingly. Every moment, whether in waking hours or in the depths of sleep, you are shaping your world through your assumptions. There is no pause in this process, no moment where you cease to create. Whether you assume wisely or unwisely, consciously or unconsciously, the law remains unbroken. Your world is forever molded by the concepts you hold of yourself and others. If you accept yourself as small, powerless, or at the mercy of circumstances, then the world will reflect back to you a reality where you are forever at the mercy of things outside your control. If you assume that opportunities pass you by, that success is reserved for others, then life will oblige by fulfilling that assumption. But if you dare to change your concept of self, if you claim greatness, wealth, joy, and love as already yours, then reality must bend to your assumption. The only reason the world seems fixed, the only reason your circumstances appear unchangeable, is because you have remained faithful to an unchanging inner state. But the moment you step into a new assumption, the moment you live as though your desire were already fulfilled, you set into motion a force greater than any obstacle. It does not matter if the world tells you it is impossible. It does not matter if reason argues against it. Consciousness is the only reality, and what you accept as true in consciousness must, without fail, become your experience. Yet many hesitate, trapped in the illusion of time. They say, "I will believe when I see the evidence," never realizing that they must first believe before the evidence can appear. They place their faith in delay, in waiting, in some future moment when things will be better, never understanding that the only time that exists is now. Creation does not happen tomorrow. It does not happen in some distant future. It happens now, in this very moment, with the assumptions you are holding. If you wish to be wealthy, do not wait for money to come before you assume yourself abundant. Assume it now. If you desire love, do not wait for another to validate your worth. Assume yourself to be loved now. If you long for success, do not wait for the world to recognize you. Assume your success now. Walk in the confidence of the fulfilled state, and the world will have no choice but to conform. But the mind, untamed, will seek to deceive you. It will whisper of limitations, of past failures, of reasons why things cannot change. It will attempt to bind you to old beliefs, for the mind clings to familiarity, even when that familiarity brings suffering. It will ask, "How can I believe in what I do not yet see?" And yet, have you not already done so? Have you not believed in your fears before they materialized? Have you not nurtured worries that later became your reality? You have been using this power all along. Only now you must use it deliberately, wisely, and with purpose. Let go of the need to struggle, for struggle implies separation from the thing you desire. When you assume correctly, there is no effort. The assumption carries you. The state of wealth does not strain to be wealthy, it simply is. The state of love does not seek love, it embodies it. The state of success does not chase recognition. It exists in the knowing that success is inevitable. Whatever state you assume, life must reflect. When you assume a thing to be true, it is done, it is finished. You need not go outside of yourself to make it happen. The outer world is but a reflection, a mere shadow cast by the reality held within. The tree does not struggle to grow, it unfolds naturally from the seed. So too must your desires unfold when nurtured within the garden of assumption. But there are those who plant a seed and then doubt its growth. They assume a new state, but quickly return to the old, looking for signs, questioning, hesitating. And so the seed withers before it has the chance to bear fruit. Do not be of these. Assume and then persist. Hold fast to your assumption even when the outer world seems unchanged, even when reason mocks you, even when the senses deny it, for the senses only reflect the past. They are not indicators of what must be. The world is filled with those who have mastered this truth without knowing they have done so. The confident move through life with ease, never questioning if success will come, because they have assumed themselves successful. The loved walk with the quiet assurance that they are cherished, never needing to seek validation. The wealthy think from wealth, not towards it, and so their lives unfold accordingly. And so I ask again, what are you assuming? For assumption is destiny. Your concept of self is the script by which your world must abide. You are not bound by the past, nor by any seeming limitation. The only limit is the one you refuse to release. Look not to circumstances to define you. Define yourself and circumstances will follow. Do not say, "I will be," for that is a future never reached. Say instead, "I am." For the only reality is now, and what you assume now must become the world you live in. You are not a beggar before the throne of life. You are the creator, the operant power, the one who chooses and commands through assumption. There is no force outside of you determining your fate. There is only consciousness, shaping and reshaping itself according to your belief. The choice is ever before you. You may assume weakness, and weakness will define you. You may assume lack, and lack will be your experience. Or you may assume greatness, abundance, and joy, and these must come forth as surely as the sun rises. The power has always been yours. The question is, what will you now assume to be true? You are forever becoming that which you most deeply accept as true. whether you are conscious of it or not. Every thought, every feeling, every assumption is molding your reality. There is no pause in creation, no moment when the law ceases to operate. Even now, as you listen, your state of being is determining the events that will unfold in your life. The question is not whether you are creating, but what you are creating. If you believe yourself to be unworthy, unworthy experiences will find their way to you. If you assume yourself to be powerless, life will reflect back situations that affirm this belief. The world does not bring to you what you want. It brings to you what you are. It is not enough to wish for a better life while continuing to assume lack, fear, and limitation. You must become in consciousness the thing you desire. You must embody it so completely that the world has no choice but to mirror it back to you. To assume is to create. The moment you dare to assume something is true, you set unseen forces into motion. Every event, every circumstance, every encounter begins to shift in response to your inner state. But assumption is not mere wishful thinking. It is a knowing so deep that it leaves no room for doubt. It is the quiet confidence that it is done, that what you seek is already yours, though the world may not yet reflect it. Most fail not because the law is broken, but because they waver. They assume a new state in a moment of inspiration, but when confronted with familiar struggles, they retreat to the old. They plant the seed, but in their impatience, they dig it up before it has had the chance to take root. They look at their bank account, their relationships, their circumstances, and they let appearances dictate what they believe to be true. And so they remain trapped in an endless cycle, repeating the same patterns, reinforcing the same reality. But you are not bound by your past. You are not a prisoner of circumstance. You are the creator, the operant power, the one who gives life to every experience through the power of assumption. If you wish to change your world, change your assumption. Assume abundance, and abundance must come. Assume love, and love must find you. Assume success, and success must unfold. It is law. It is certain. It cannot fail. Doubt is the only enemy. The moment you question whether your assumption will manifest, you introduce delay. The moment you look to the outer world for confirmation before you have fully claimed your desire in consciousness, you allow external conditions to dictate your inner state. And yet, it is your inner state that creates the external world. Do not wait for proof. Assume, persist, and let the world catch up. This is not a matter of effort or struggle. It is not about forcing the world into submission. Creation is effortless when assumption is absolute. The moment you feel the reality of your wish fulfilled, the need for effort vanishes. You walk differently, you speak differently, you think differently. You carry yourself as one who already possesses the thing desired, and the world must shift to accommodate your new self-concept. Look at those who live with ease, those to whom success and love seem to come naturally. They are not striving. They are not battling against unseen forces. They simply know themselves to be worthy of the good they receive. And because they know it, life must reflect it. It is not luck, nor fate, nor divine favoritism. It is the law in action. They have assumed a reality of abundance, and so abundance surrounds them. So too can you assume any reality you choose. You need not wait for circumstances to change before you feel different. You need not wait for the world to show you signs before you believe. You are the cause, the world is the effect. The only question is, what will you now assume to be true? If you desire health, do not look at the body's symptoms and let them dictate your assumption. Assume yourself to be whole, strong, vibrant. Feel the ease of movement, the energy flowing through you. Let your new state saturate your being so completely that the body has no choice but to follow. If you desire success, do not wait for opportunities to come before you feel successful. Assume now that you are already the person who attracts wealth, recognition, and prosperity. Walk as one who knows success is inevitable, who moves through life with the confidence of one already established. If you desire love, do not seek it outside yourself, for to seek is to affirm that it is missing. Instead, assume that you are already deeply loved, cherished, desired. Feel it as though it were already your reality, and the world must reshape itself to match your inner conviction. All that you see, all that you touch, all that you experience is nothing more than a reflection of your past assumptions. But past assumptions have no hold on you unless you continue to give them life. At any moment you may step into a new reality, a new self-concept, a new way of being. The moment you assume differently, the moment you claim your desired state is already real, you have set into motion an irreversible process. Some will call it coincidence, some will say it is luck, but you will know the truth. You will know that nothing in your world happens by chance, that every experience has been brought forth by the movement of your consciousness. And with this knowing comes the greatest freedom, the freedom to create deliberately, to assume wisely, to live as the master of your reality rather than as a victim of circumstances. You need not beg for what is already yours. You need not seek outside yourself for the power that has always been within. You need only assume, believe, and persist. And in due time, that which you have claimed in consciousness must appear in form. There is no separation between you and the power that shapes the universe. The very force that moves the stars, that brings forth the changing of the seasons, that governs the rising and falling of the tides, that same power is within you, for it is you. You are not a separate being seeking favor from a distant God. You are the very expression of divine creation itself. And so I ask you once more, what will you now assume to be true? Will you continue to accept the limitations of the past, or will you dare to assume a greater reality? Will you let appearances dictate your fate, or will you claim your power as the creator of your world? The law is simple. As you believe, so shall it be done unto you. Assume wisely, assume boldly, assume now. You stand at the threshold of infinite possibilities, for within you lies the power to shape reality itself. There is no force outside of you determining your fate, only the movement of your own consciousness, the assumptions you hold and the truths you claim as your own. The world has never been separate from you. It has only been a reflection of what you have accepted in mind. Now knowing this, what will you do? Will you continue to live by appearances, letting circumstances dictate your state of being? Or will you rise in the awareness of your creative power, assuming boldly the life you desire and persisting in that assumption until it hardens into fact? The choice is ever yours. You need not struggle, nor plead, nor wait for a future moment. The power to transform, to rise, to become is here, now, in this very moment. Assume now that you are already the person you wish to be. Walk in that knowing, think from that state, and let the world adjust itself accordingly. For as you believe, so shall it be done unto you. The law is unbroken, the promise is certain. Assume the highest, and the highest must be yours.